All right, today's video we're making is going to be for second graders. This is woven animals. Now, again, all the videos are designed so that if you're in whatever grade you're in, please take a look at them. Look at the lesson. If it's something that interests you, go ahead and try it. I don't care what grade you're in. Have fun with it. Look at all the videos online and choose the ones that match up with the lessons, the materials that you have at home, and the ones that interest you. Today, though, we're going to be making little animals that are going to have little woven bodies. We've both chosen to do turtles. What you choose to do is going to be up to you. But the first step is you're going to choose a piece of colored construction paper, and you want to fill that piece as much as you can with the main body of your animal. That's why we chose turtles, because the turtles have a big shell, and that's going to be a big area that we can weave onto. And we'll explain that in just a moment. So once you've got a piece of construction paper the color you like, you've got your animal drawn real large onto it, you'll be ready to go here soon. The other materials you're going to need are strips of paper from other projects. So you can have any colors that you've got laying around. You can also use magazines, pieces of magazines cut into strips, particularly if they've got sky pictures or grass pictures, lots of cool, colorful images. If you've painted on paper, you can cut that into strips. You're going to need glue and scissors. If you have feathers, if you have beads, that kind of thing you want to add to it, you're more than welcome to. Pipe cleaners, twist ties, that sort of thing. We've got a couple of straws here we may use. But we're going to start off here by showing you the most important part of the lesson, and that's weaving. Once you've got this done, even if we have to stop the video, you can go ahead and continue adding all the extra decoration that you like to your individual project. All right. You ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've done here is we've, again, each chosen our color. Hers is purple and mine yellow to do our turtles on.
You can't really see my turtle.
You can a little bit. Let me hold it closer. So you can kind of see her turtle has lines. And if you'll notice, at the bottom of each line, I've poked a hole with the pencil. And so I'm going to take my scissors and cut those straight lines we drew, starting with those holes that I cut or that I poked with the scissors. If you have a parent or guardian around who can help you cut these lines, you want to try to cut them as straight as you can. And as you can see, I'm just cutting those lines that we drew. And that's where the strips of paper will come and weave through and allow us to create our weaving. Now, weaving is a technique that you can use in lots of cool projects. Most often we think about using it with yarn or string or that sort of thing. But paper weaving is a great place to learn to understand the concept and to kind of get the hang of the whole over-under that's required for weaving. All right. You ready for me to do yours?
No.
You got them? Watch that little finger behind there.
Yeah, you do it. Careful.
And for time
burn.
consideration, but Serena's pretty adept with the scissors. She's pretty good with the scissors. She's used to cutting a lot of stuff. In addition to doing all these lessons, we've got a whole house full of art stuff that gets used on a weekly basis. We're in our studio. Actually, this is our studio table. This is where I paint, where Serena comes and paints. When we're not making lessons, we're doing oil paintings or acrylic paintings or drawings. Her and her friends like to sit down here and do watercolor drawings. I kind of give them full reign of the studio. They're allowed to use most of the stuff so long as they don't get into my good stuff that I like. All right, now Serena's got lots of little lines here. Lord, yours is gonna
too many.
Yours is gonna take extra long time. That's okay.
Wait.
Hopefully, we'll get yours done here in the 15 minutes. If you've watched many of these, you recognize that sometimes one of us gets done and sometimes the other one does not.
He's the one who usually gets done.
But that's okay.
You've been doing art all your life.
I've been doing it a long time. And the other thing is, she's doing like what you're doing. Probably you won't finish in the amount of time that we have here to make the videos. And you'll be working on it a little afterwards, and that's fine. That's the way it should go, and that's what she does. So, not always, but I've got to try to hurry through it so we can make sure you get to see how the process works. So, we're going to start off with a color piece of paper, strip paper. Start with whatever color you like. Make sure it goes all the way from one edge of the project to the other. If you can see, this one's more than extra long to go across. So for instance, I wouldn't choose like this little piece because it doesn't go all the way from one side to the other.
Yeah,
So,
or
no
this
go.
one. No.
No go. All right. So I've got a piece that goes side to side. You got a piece that goes side to side. Okay. So weaving works very simply. Its concept is over, under, over, under, over, under. And then when you move to your next strip or piece of yarn, it does the opposite. So we're going to start here. I'm going to start on one edge. And I'm going to start by going under one of my little yellow strips I've cut. And then over the next one. Then under and then over. And then under and then over. Now, as I get to where the body is, if you can see there, I'm going to stop because now that's where my shell's going to end, and I can cut that off. And then this is where our glue is going to come into hand. So I'm going to cut this off at the back so you can see what I've done is I cut my strip off so it only goes where the tortoise's shell is, the turtle's shell. I'm going to take a little bit of glue. I'm going to put under each end of it. So right under this little tab of purple, I'm putting a little bead of glue. And under the front part, I'm going to put a little bead of glue.
Is this good?
Hold on, I'm coming to you next. Hold on. That's right, you're good. All right, grab your little glue.
But Daddy, is this good?
Yep, let's see. Now, we're going to cut yours down just like I did so that it only stays where the turtle shell goes. So let's pull it back to right about there. Is that where your shell ends? Is that about right?
Pull it back a little further.
A little further? How's that?
Just good enough.
Okay, now put your little dab of glue under there.
Like under here?
Yeah, right under that tab where it comes out.
No, too much, but it'll be fine.
It's okay. And then because Serena's last tab ends on an under, it goes under that last piece. She's going to put her little last piece of glue, the drop of glue, there between those pieces on the back side. And then she can cut off this excess. Now, if you'll notice, she now has excess. This extra blue. Excess means extra. She's going to cut that off with the scissors. We're going to push that down all the way. Let's make sure that's pushed out as far as it'll go.
If you'll hold that so I can get a good grip on it.
Yes, ma'am. Cut that off right there.
Kind of here. Get the end of this paper.
There you go. There you go.
Okay,
Good
right
job.
there.
All right. Now, we're going to pick a different color piece of paper that we're going to weave through. What's your next color going to be? Now, we're not going to use the same color that the paper we're working on, so I won't use yellow, for instance, and she won't be using purple. But
I think I'll go with yellow.
Oh, yellow. Very nice. Okay. I'm going to go with that blue that you've been using. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
It is pretty.
That's why I use it.
This time, though, we do the opposite. If you notice, I started on top of that one. Now I've got to start under. So I've got to weave under. And you also want to make sure you get a strip that is thick or thin enough for your purpose. And this one's a little thick for me. I'm going to cut it down just a hair. How's yours working out?
So
Yours looks pretty even.
what do I do now? Because I don't quite understand what you mean.
So Serena's, since she started under here, she's going to start on an over this time. So this time she's starting going over this one.
Oh, not really.
And then under the next one. And as you can see now, what's going by over and under. See, when she was on top before, now this piece goes under. And that's how the weave is created.
Okay.
So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start, mine needs to go under first, this one.
I think under is easier.
Well, as it moves along, they both become pretty much the same.
Really? I need this to come up so I can get under it.
So we're overing and we're undering and we're overing and we're undering and then we're overing and then for me I finish with an under. So this is what mine looks like now. As you can start to see, the little tortoise shell is taking on that checkered pattern that begins to develop with weaving. I'm going to cut off my excess, my extra here. And both of my little tabs now on the back side is where I'm going to add my glue to hold this in place. So right behind this tab here, as you can see it, I've added a little glue. All right.
This was a little long.
Push that down. Same on this little tab on the end. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue. All right. Serena, let's take a look at yours and see what you got going. All right.
Getting too long.
So here's the other thing. Now, once you're done weaving, can you see she's got a gap between the blue and the yellow? So what we're going to simply do, we're just going to push that down.
I had to do that with the blue.
And if you jiggle back and forth while you do this, makes it a little easier until we get it where we want it. Oh, there we go. All right. Now, the last one needs to go under here. I'm going to push this one under.
Oh, I can see that tab.
That's all right. All right. Now, just like before, she's going to cut off her extra, but this time she's going to cut off where the tortoise shell is. Let me cut that for you. Okay, so where the tortoise shell ends, and you can see, I'll pull that back so you can kind of see here. I'm going to push this back down so that it's all where it's supposed to be before she glues it into place. And you can see her tortoise shell is taking on that checkered pattern. There you go.
It looks so cool.
It is cool, isn't it? I like the checkered, that woven pattern. Weaving stuff is pretty neat in general. How we doing on time? We've got 4 minutes to finish this up.
What?
So I'm going to go ahead and weave the last of my little turtle shell in here. But I want you all to continue working. I'm going to go with a dark blue here.
I think I'm going to go with one too.
Yeah, if you got a long one, that's almost long enough.
That's a little short though.
I think that's probably the longest one. Let's see if that'll work.
I'll just get it.
Want to go the different color? Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and...
Ooh, I have a question.
Over under mine, yes ma'am.
Are we allowed to do like a pattern like blue, yellow, blue?
Sure, yes. So,
Hey.
Serena asked, can you create a pattern? Well, of course, always.
I like blue, yellow, blue.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Pattern. Okay, that's a little thick. Will you help me cut this down? It's a little too thick.
So hers is a little thick. We need a little thinner. I'm going to cut it down like so.
I'm so tired.
I don't know about you all, but our sleep schedules are messed up here with having to be in the house so much. Okay, so I'm just going to show you again. I have woven mine, again, up, under, over, under, over. The tab that's in the front, I'm going to put a little drop of glue under so you can see that's where that's going to glue down there. On the back side is where the other tab came through, and I'm going to put a little glue there to glue it in place. Now, this is what my turtle's looking like. I'm going to try with the last 2 minutes of time to squeeze one more little weave in the very top of it. Wish me luck. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to go with this little narrow blue that we've got left over here. If it'll fit through.
I'm struggling with this.
Are you struggling? Hold on.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay, that worked. A little too well. Okay.
Okay, well mine did one more. I was able to get one more in there. Let me cut this off like so.
Got 1 more minute.
So this is what mine came out looking like.
It looks so cool.
Now I can do some stuff like I can come in here with my pastel or my crayon. If I had a green on hand real quick. There's about 30 seconds left.
Go.
Hold yours up too. I want them to see that. So you can look at her weave. Hers is a little different than mine, but it's beautiful. Looks great. I love the whole back and forth, over, under.
This is a new thing to me.
It's a new thing. Real quick, I've added a little bit of color to my turtle's face, to his feet.
And we have about...
If I could put a tail on him, I would. But we're down to like 8 seconds.
No,
Thank you all so much. Hopefully yours looks as good as ours did. If not, try it again. We'll watch it again.